is the participant panel at Genomics England. My name is Florence Cornish, and today I'm joined with Lisa Beaton, who is a parent representative for Syndrome Without a Name, Swan UK, and a member of the participant panel. And we have a special episode today because it is to celebrate the 10th anniversary, so a decade, of the participant panel at Genomics England. Lisa, I think it would be good to start with a quick rundown of what the participant panel is. If you had to describe it in a few sentences, what would you say?
Ooh, that's tricky actually to cram all our wealth of expertise and knowledge into that, I guess, in just a few sentences. But essentially, we are a group of lay people who have all contributed by way of being on genomic studies such as the 100,000 Genome for our data to be held in the NGRL, the National Genomic Research Library. We may have joined because our children or another family member have a disorder or a syndrome or a condition that requires further genetic testing. So there's panel members who represent from different cancer communities. There's panel members who have connections with rare disease. And then there's panel members like myself who come from the undiagnosed community, where we join to essentially try and find a diagnosis in respect of our daughter. The majority of us don't have any kind of medical background. We're all just individuals who collectively are really interested in where genomics and genetics is going to take us in the future. But probably most importantly, we all feel a sense of responsibility to ensure that there's equity of access, to diversify, to basically ensure that the lived experience of real life people become more than just the data point to the scientific and research community. We are real people.
Yeah. And could you explain a little bit more about the practical role of the panel? So what you aim to do as a group and what it involves to be a part of it?
Certainly. So as a panel, we meet either in person or on Teams approximately 4 times a year, so quarterly. We also get to listen to what we call lunch and learns, which have been absolutely fascinating. It's different people from different areas of the scientific and research community who will come along and talk to us about their latest discovery or what new things have been found, what's in pipelines, what we can be looking forward to. There's all sorts of different aspects of that. So currently a project that's been quite well known in the news is the Generation Study, the study of newborns. There have been research interviews and meetings around cancer studies. It's really exciting actually, because every time there's something kind of new to learn or to see where progress is going. And that is just, I guess that's what most of us are there for, really, just to kind of see it in action. The role of the panel really is there to hold accountability, to ensure that data is being kept in a safe and secure manner, to ask any questions that we have about that. I think probably we are all just members of the public, so our interests are widely there to ensure, we're representing what we feel we would want to know, and therefore hopefully in connection with what other members who have kindly donated their genetic information and material towards studies. So we can hold that agency for them, and just to get kind of more information, knowledge, share that out there with power to the people, as it were.
I'm interested if there's anything in particular that comes to mind that the panel has achieved that you're especially proud of, or that you're the most proud of.
Again, I think to squash that into just kind of 1 or 2 sentences is probably impossible, because there's so many things that panel members are proud of. One of the things that has definitely, we feel, made a huge difference is the plain language guide. We are absolutely adamant that, everything should be as clear and easy to understand as possible. It's all very well having all the science and researchers who almost speak like a different language. For us, to get that passionately back to everybody who can be involved at different levels. You know, if you've contributed your time, your information, your DNA to research, then everybody who's done that, whether they speak English as a first language or a second language, or whether they have any kind of, say, learning disability or just, you know, different socioeconomic experience, etc., it's really key that across the board, everybody can access the language and terminology that is used around genetics. To sum up a point that has been used time and again, but is so crucial: nothing about us without us.
I can confirm I'm a very big fan of the language guide. I use it all the time. I share it all the time. It's amazing. And you should be very proud of it.
Well, we definitely are. I, you know, when I first joined the panel, one of the things I found really hard was I came into a room and I already had a bit of imposter syndrome. There were lots of terms being flung around in kind of acronyms. It's something we all do in everyday life. And, you know, the more used to them you are, the more you use them. But actually, it's to go back and remind ourselves what those are. You don't want to be sort of 10 steps behind because you're constantly having to go back and look something up. So if you've got that guide there with you, if we ensure that everything is written as plainly and simply, whilst not dumbing anything down, just ensuring that it is accessible, that's incredibly important.
Yeah, completely. So it's been really great to hear about what the panel does and the vital role that they play, and you've given a really great example there. But I thought it might also be nice to hear about what being part of the panel has meant for you and how it's impacted you just as a person, I guess, if you feel comfortable to share more about that.
Yes, definitely. So as I said, when I joined the panel, I did have a bit of imposter syndrome. I don't have a medical background. I've gained 17 plus years of medical experience because of our undiagnosed child. And I suppose I've gleaned quite a lot of information along the way, but clearly I'm not a geneticist. I'm not a doctor. I know what I know and I'm comfortable with that. I think joining the panel for me gave me back some of who I am as a person. Over the years, I've been mum a lot of the time. Medical professionals in particular, face-to-face, utilize that term. And I know it's not meant in any kind of patronizing way, but being part of the panel has made me become sort of myself as a person again. I'm more than just mum. It's enabled me to meet with fellow parents and caregivers and kind of share that common bond. Although we all come from different pathways and walks of life, be that the cancer pathway or the rare disease pathway or the undiagnosed pathway, or in our case, a combination of rare and undiagnosed, we share so many different things in common, and our experience of commonalities, even if we've come about it from a different pathway. And that gives agency and strength, I think, to us as individuals. We know what we're going through. That lived experience, that real voice really brings it back. And I know from chatting to members of Genomics England and being at different networking events that they really hear us when they meet us. We are so much more than just the data.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And in connection to that, I just wanted to finish off by giving you the opportunity to say, is there one thing that you wish people knew about patient advocacy in general?
Yes, come and join us would be my message. We need more people. We definitely need more diversity. We want to hear from everybody and anybody. You know, genetics, genomics affects all of us. By 2035, I think it is, that it's predicted that more than 50% of medical such encounters will be with a genomic connection. And so to ensure that, you know, we're representing all members of communities across the board, we need more and more people, particularly people of different backgrounds would be something that I would be very keen to see the panel kind of move and diversify into. And
so for anyone listening that does want to get involved, how would they go about doing that?
So I think there's probably quite a number of ways. I personally saw some information on Facebook. They're across different social media, X, Instagram, etc. So there's definitely more information there. Obviously type in their website, Genomics England, and there's different links on the pages there. And come and join us. We're a very friendly bunch.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing more about the participant panel and the vital role they play and have done for the last 10 years.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this.
If you want to hear more Explainer episodes like this, you can find them on our website at www.genomicsengland.co.uk or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening.